You're listening to Soulful High Performance with Dr. Rosie Mead. This is the place to be if you want to discover how to level up and achieve lasting success on your terms without the stress. I'm determined to share with you the tools, habits and mindset that you need to take your life to the next level so that you too can become a soulful high performer. Hi and welcome to the show. It's Monday and the sun has been shining today, feeling in a really positive mood. And as always, I want to share that with you. When you feel in a positive mood, when you feel that you've got high energy, I always feel that you've got to share that. So I'm sharing it with you wherever you're listening to this episode today. I hope that you're having a great Monday. Today I wanted to talk about finding our motivation and kind of how we can cultivate motivation. So part of the reason why today's feeling so good is because I sat down yesterday and planned out what I was going to do today. And what that does from a brain perspective is that we kind of kickstart that dopamine. So I woke up this morning already feeling excited for the day ahead and thinking about the things that I had on my list that got me fired up, you know, the stuff that are like big movers. And I've spoken about this before in previous episodes, but thinking about what are those things that are going to move the needle today. And then when you start the day, that dopamine is kind of already kickstarting that anticipation of completing these tasks, which then that fires up our motivation. You know, we want to do them. And so I found kind of thinking about the tasks that I had today, that, like I said, kind of got that like motivation going, that dopamine hit as I ticked each one off. So I still really like having a paper diary. I'm moving over to more tech-based, but I do like the kind of physical act of actually ticking something off. And a great way to create motivation in that regard is by having like quite small tasks or breaking down your goals into kind of smaller manageable tasks that you then can be kind of ticking off. And the more you tick off, you get that dopamine hit. We kind of feel that sense of reward, of satisfaction. For that exact reason, with my not-for-profit, I send our board of directors a weekly report. Now, I don't have to do this, but I really like it because it helps me to stay on track. It helps me to stay focused because I do get distracted by shiny object syndrome. But I also get that hit of dopamine. So at the end of each week, I'm sharing with them. I'm like the kid. I feel like I've gone back at school and I'm wanting the gold star, and I love it when they reply to say like, yeah, like job well done, or like, woo, like you did a really good job this week, because I get that like hit of like, yay, I've been rewarded. But we don't need that external reward to have this kind of sense of satisfaction. So one, it's a case of starting your day off with those kind of tasks, the things that are going to move the needle, like I said, breaking down those kind of big hitters into smaller ones and ticking that off. But it's also at this point in the day, so I'm recording this at 6:30 in the evening, the kids are about to come home, and I'll be into kind of mum mode and stuff, and I quite like the transition from work into mum mode and the rest of life and lifestyle by reviewing my day, which is why it's great recording this podcast now. So rather than we don't have to wait, like I was saying, that end of the week, you're sending off our weekly report, whatever it is, and getting the external validation. Like, yes, I love that. But at the end of each day, do this for yourself. You know, look over your day and kind of reflect on, how did the day go? Did you get those tasks done that you wanted to get done? If you did, like, amazing, woohoo, like, celebrate, you did it. Tap into that, how you're feeling right now, probably sense of achievement. But also if things maybe went a bit awry or you didn't get certain tasks done that you'd hoped to get done, have a think about kind of where you've learned from that. Is it that you put too much on your plate today? Is it that actually the sun was shining and you really wanted to get out for a walk instead of recording a podcast? and that's okay. And kind of just reflecting on that. So if we can kind of get into the habit of this cycle, so starting the day with that sort of hit of dopamine and the anticipation of getting the things done that we'd planned the night before, and then working your way through the day, getting those tasks done, feeling that sense of achievement, the satisfaction, tapping into core feelings that I've spoken about before, taking care of your well-being, all of that, pop that onto the list as well. Tick off when you drunk your 2, 3, 4 litres of water, however much you have, when you've gone for a walk, all of these things. And then when you get to the end of the day, then reflect back and then plan your next day. So for instance, I've just planned what I'm about to. That was a big lie. I haven't planned. I am about to plan my day tomorrow. And one of my things is I didn't make time for learning today. I was kind of focused on other things. It means that I'm frustrated, to be honest. I'm a bit frustrated with myself that I haven't done one of the courses that I wanted to do. So it was on TikTok, and I want to learn more about how to use TikTok. So I've got to put in the time to do the learning. But today that just didn't happen. So that's still on my list. So what I'll do when I'm planning in a bit for tomorrow is that I'll then look at my list for tomorrow. I'll look at what I'm already up to tomorrow, where I can realistically fit in pockets of time. And the first thing that I'm going to do tomorrow morning when I get into work is to go and do this TikTok course. Because if I make time for it right first thing in the morning, then I've done it. It's going to be a longer term thing, blah, blah, blah. But it's making time for that thing. So it's kind of getting the wheels started in my case. But thinking for yourself how you can review today, reflect on today, and then set yourself up for the best day that tomorrow can be. And that is completely in our control. I've said before about how we think and how we tap into our feelings. That dictates how we behave, and we are in control of how we react to things, how we feel, how we show up in the world. We're not in control of external events and what other people do, but we are in control of how we respond to it, how we react to it. So think about that today. I'd absolutely love to know how you're finding this kind of like cycle process. So setting up your day, going about your day, reflecting, and then setting your day up for the next day to be the best day that it can absolutely be. So wherever you're listening to this right now, take a moment afterwards to just sit down and prepare yourself for the next day, the day ahead. It is the evening and my brain is starting to switch off, but I'm reflecting on it being a good day today, getting things done, and focusing on the episode that I put out last week. It's that kind of whole thing of focusing on one thing at a time, not trying to multitask. It's forever a learning curve, and I'm just putting my hand up to say I have not got it nailed. Personal development is not a one-off thing. It's a constant evolving process that we're always learning. And I feel like through this podcast, the more that I can learn, the more that I can share with you, you'll then take that on board. You'll share it with others, and it's just going to spread. It's absolutely amazing. You're doing a brilliant job. And I want you to acknowledge today where those wins have been. Yes, there might be some stuff on your list that you didn't manage to get done. Reflect on that, learn from it, but also look at those big wins, and I'm saying big, they might be really tiny. It might just be that it's the summer holidays at the moment. It might be that you managed to just sit and read a chapter of your book. That is for today a win. And go and reflect on those. Go find the things that have brought you joy today as well. You know, this isn't just about goals. This is about reconnecting with yourself. That's the whole thing about being like soulful. That's my big thing about being a soulful high performer as well. Look at kind of where your achievements have been today, what you've learned, and then set yourself up for the best day that you can have tomorrow. Have a fantastic Monday, and I will check in with you for tomorrow's Daily Vibe. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you loved it, share it with at least 3 friends. Grab a screenshot, share, and don't forget to tag me. You can find me on all social channels at Dr. Rosie Mead. I'd love to support you further in your soulful high performance journey. Come and grab my free Success Without Stress starter kit. You can find the link in the show notes.